Bilal Hamzi was executed by a gunman in the middle of Sydney's CBD on the 17th of June 2021. The death marks an explosion of a gangland family feud in Sydney's criminal underworld. These are the Hamzis and their enemies. Founder of Sydney's Brothers for Life gang, a notorious armed robber and one of Australia's most dangerous criminals, Hamzi is currently held in Supermax prison for murder and attempting to organise a drug syndicate from his jail cell. Cousin of Bassam Hamzi and shot dead in June 2021. Underworld sources said Hamzi knew there was a contract on his head and had been on the move in recent weeks before settling in Sydney's CBD. Bilal Hamzi's mother, who survived being shot 8 times in the leg at her home in Auburn by crime figure XL. Brother of Bassam, charged with attempting to import ice into Australia and shot dead in a drive-by shooting in October 2020. Brothers for Life gang, a notorious armed robber and one of Australia's most dangerous criminals, Hamzi is currently held in Supermax prison for murder and attempting to organise a drug syndicate from his jail cell. Cousin of Bassam Hamzi and shot dead in June 2021. Underworld sources said Hamzi knew there was a contract on his head and had been on the move in recent weeks before settling in Sydney's CBD. Bilal Hamzi's mother, who survived being shot 8 times in the leg at her home in Auburn by crime figure XL. Brother of Bassam, charged with attempting to import ice into Australia and shot dead in a drive-by shooting in October 2020. Majid's cousin and leader of the Bankstown chapter of the Brothers for Life gang, serving time after being found guilty of the manslaughter of Yahya Ahmoud in 2012. Cousin of Bassam, shot dead in 2013. Majid and Bassam Hamzi's mother, who survived being shot in the stomach at her home in December 2014. One of Australia's most dangerous inmates, XL threatened to shoot Bassam's cousins. He was arrested in 2013 for an armed robbery on a cash delivery van and was later sent to a Supermax prison for shooting Bilal Hamzi's mother Maha. He cannot be identified for legal reasons. Gun for hire and close friend of XL, Haushar is New South Wales' most wanted man and is also in hiding from Lebanese police. Haushar expressed anger towards Bilal Hamzi because he had allegedly bashed his younger brother. He was later accused of shooting at Hamzi and members of the Brothers for Life gang. Notorious hitman shot dead in his home in 2016. Assad was reportedly linked to the shooting of Maha Hamzi on what's believed to be Bilal Haushar's orders.
Of a major war. Drive-by shooting, shot 5 times and lived. There are children in houses and they're spraying these houses with dozens of bullets.
A serious, targeted assassination in a public street during daylight hours.
Drug importation in the multi-millions of dollars. He knew there was $1 million price on his head. So last October in southwest Sydney, there was a junior drug runner who worked for the Alameddine family. He and the Hamzis clashed, and the Hamzi family have been around Sydney for a long, long time. The godfather of them really is Bassam Hamzi, who's now in jail, and he started Brothers for Life. Since then, the Hamzi family have grown and grown and been in constant conflict with the Alameddines. But last October, it actually just exploded. Early one morning, Majid Hamzi was shot dead at the front door of his home.
2 killers in black run towards their target, Majid Hamzi, who's just been shot 4 times.
17-year-old relative of the Alameddines was shot 5 times and lived.
Police are seriously disturbed that this has unfolded in broad daylight on a Sunday afternoon.
Drive-by shootings of Maha Hamzi's unit block.
Across a street and through the hospital window. It's where Hamzi's aunt was shot 8 times in 2013.
These sort of wars, you know, these guys don't care about collateral damage. Bilal Hamzi, who is the son of Maha Hamzi, the matriarch of the family, he knew there was $1 million price on his head, and he'd known this for a couple of months. The police had told him, his underworld friends had told him and said, Bilal, they're after you, the Alameddines want to knock you. He moved into the city, into an apartment down in Chinatown, where he obviously felt pretty safe, and he did like the good life. He couldn't help himself. He still wandered around the streets of Sydney thinking that he was safe because he was in the CBD. There are cameras everywhere, there are police, there are people. They do try and protect themselves. Obviously in this case not enough. He made a date to go to dinner with a woman who was not his wife. His wife was elsewhere. They went to dinner for about 2 hours, and then he stepped out at about 10:30. And there waiting for him was a Audi with a gunman in there. They fired about 3-4 bullets at him, hit him 3-4 times. Then did a U-turn, and while he's lying on the ground, fired another 3 or 4 shots.
Bilal Hamzi was ambushed and cut down in a hail of bullets in the heart of the city.
A lot of people think, oh, this is a crook being shot. You've got to remember, this was in a very, very busy Sydney street Thursday night at 10:30. So that code of women and children, you know, are left out of any war. These guys don't care about that anymore. They really don't seem to have any moral compass whatsoever. It always starts over something like, you know, you shouldn't be selling drugs in that suburb. But then ego takes over, and that's what it's about now. It's no longer about money or a suburb or a coke deal. This is about having face in that criminal community. They've got to try and assert their authority. And now the Alameddines are well in front. They've killed 2 major players in Majid and Bilal Hamzi. The Hamzi family now are under enormous pressure to try and retaliate. They have to show that they're not weak, and that's a real problem for the police. There will be members of that family and his what they call crew who will be looking for retribution.